So we are here at the Big Blue Dock. It is 6 a.m. and we are on our way to South Caicos, where we're going to start our 50-mile down window back to Providenciales. This has never been done, crossing the Caicos banks with a kite. We're doing it to raise awareness and funds for Mike DeCamp and his surgery for AS. Mike has suffered from AS since he was 15, so he's had it all of his adult life, and it's something that's progressively got worse and worse, and it's now reached a stage where he needs immediate surgery or he's going to be in a wheelchair. The reason we're doing this is Mike is a kiteboarder and he loved kiteboarding, so this was like a perfect way to show our solidarity with him, being kiteboarders ourselves and caring about him. It's quite an adventure. To stay on the water for 5 hours kiting is going to be endurance, and it's going to be cold for sure. I've never kited most of that water before, so we don't know, is it going to be like really choppy or how the wind's going to be for sure, so it's a bunch of uncertainty.
The team of 7, made up of 5 kiteboarders from Big Blue, Kite Provo, and engineering firm CSE, departed the Big Blue dock at 6:35 this past Saturday morning. With skipper Brent Forbes at the helm and island photographer Agil Levine on board to record the attempt, the team were in place. South Caicos, which is the 7th largest island of the Turks and Caicos, is located more than 80 kilometers from Providenciales. The team estimated a time of 6 hours to make the crossing, finishing at the popular kite surfing location on Long Bay. Shortly after 9 o'clock, the team arrived into Coburn Harbor, where they immediately set out their kites on the dock front, preparing for the attempt. Unfortunately, we were unable to join the kiteboarders during their crossing of the Caicos Bank, but did manage to speak to them when they successfully returned to Long Bay Beach later that afternoon.
So we started off right out south, and so we were really close, but then we didn't want to get too close to east because then you just add a lot more distance. So we basically headed out to the same channel that the boat was running on, so it was still very shallow, but not very close to shore. Once we got to about East Caicos, the end of East Caicos, then we started heading in. So we pretty much followed the shoreline of Middle Caicos until we got to Provo.
We passed just like a field of starfish and sharks and stingrays, and it was amazing. It was tiring, and I'm tired, but it was an amazing experience.
So we kited from South Caicos to Provo, 50 odd miles, and luckily for us the wind was really, really good the whole way, so it was in our favor, and we stuck together like a good team. It worked out to a T, perfect. Most of the way we were probably on a starboard tack most of the way, but we kept having to take port tacks out so that we could actually make it to Long Bay. All of us ended up in the foot of North Caicos, and we had to do a really, really long port tack to get down here right now.
Long Bay Beach was packed this past Saturday afternoon, with kiters making the most out of the very favorable wind conditions. The community definitely coming out to show their support for the 5 riders who, after kiting for 5.5 hours, safely arrived back onto the beach. Big Blue skipper Brent Forbes helped expertly navigate the kiters through the shallow waters of the Caicos banks, and also at times helped to pass out nutritious snacks. Halfway into the crossing, the team stopped in the shallow waters for approximately 30 minutes in order to rest, eat, and most importantly, rehydrate. Philip Shearer reminded us again about the reason they decided to make this crossing.
Well, it's for raising awareness and trying to raise funds for Mike DeCamp, who's suffering from AS, which is a pretty crippling disease where essentially his bones are seizing together and he's losing mobility, and he's only 33. So most of us here take an active lifestyle for granted, and hopefully we raise enough money so he gets an operation and has another shot at mobility, as it were. I just hope we've raised enough money so that we can make a difference to Mike, and with any luck we'll see him back on the water as well.
So for personal contributions, you can go on GoFundMe.com/KOIWIC, or for larger contributions from businesses, they can be made out to the Rotary Club and dropped off at Big Blue.